Hello, incredible people. Woo! Time to stop the music. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Amir, Craig, Nati. Lovely to see you.
Hey, good to see you, Jose.
Amazing, amazing to see you all. Let me just welcome more people into the room. Liz is on her way. Craig in the room. Amir, Rashmi, Herman. What an amazing opportunity. Thank you, Craig. Hello. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the first ever Speak to Sell Yourself and Your Business show. This is the one of many. So be ready because this is only the start. Look at Liz, lovely red. Nati, it's always a pleasure to see you. I know Christina is going to be joining us for work, so she's not going to be sharing her screen. Amir, I don't know, maybe he hasn't shaved today. Yeah, he's in the office. That's fine. And Craig has already said hello. Right, people. Well, I think all of you know me. I always like to do a bit of an introduction. And no, it's not going to be about me. It's actually going to be about the show and what we're going to be doing here. So there is a Facebook community where we're going to be posting all of these videos and all of this content. This is being recorded, as you know, so you can join the Facebook group. There's going to be emails. There's going to be a few things happening in the background as well, providing value. This is all around value to help your businesses grow online, mainly online. But the thing is, the tools and techniques that we're going to be reviewing here on a weekly basis are going to help you to sell, to stand out, to communicate more effectively, to present, so that every time there is an opportunity coming your way, you're going to be like Liz does. Yes, so she's right there, you know, speaking and podcasting and promoting what she does and getting new opportunities. So I would like, since we're a small group today, and the people that are sharing their screens, and if you want to intro yourself as well by unmuting yourselves or in the chat, feel free to do so. So let's just do a quick round of introductions with the people showing their faces. We can start, of course, ladies first. We go with Liz. Liz, over to you. Hello.
Hi, I am Liz Hamlet. I'm founder of Spark Succeed, and I am a former podcast host with Jose. I am still a podcast host, but I'm sure there'll be future projects together.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us today. Liz, what do you do and who are you looking to connect with?
So I help leaders to lead better. So I work with leaders in the corporate sphere and business owners who perhaps haven't had so much experience with leadership. So I work one-on-one and do corporate coaching and group coaching.
There we go. There we have Liz. Where did Nati go? Nati, I was going to come to you. Are you okay to intro yourself? You've gone for a moment. Let's just pass on the mic to Herman. Oh, Nati, you're back. Quick intro, Nati, on what you're up to these days. Oh, we cannot hear you, Nati. For some reason, your audio. There we go. Now we can.
Okay. So, you know, I launched my online life coaching platform in July. And that was a project which I was working on for the last 1 year. So we've kind of become busy on social media, about 32 posts and videos till now. And also on, Insta, Facebook, and LinkedIn is where I'm, busy these days. The reason for being here is, the title itself is so great, is that you speak to sell. And obviously, all of us are doing that in some way or the other. And I had a very interesting audio from you while you were on vacation. So I'm, kind of executing that. And I thought today would be the beginning of another interesting journey with you, Jose.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Nati, for being part of it. Well, I know Amir, Christina, people, if you can hear us, Craig, if you want to type in the chat, then of course we love to see faces, and there's going to be more faces as we grow the show. This is actually the first day. So I'm going to pass on the mic to Herman. Herman, quick introduction from yourself, and then we go to Rashmi, and then we get started.
Good morning, guys. Thank you very much. Pleasure to meet you all. My name is Herman. As you can see, I share surname with Jose, his brother, and in this case, I'm the videographer. So I'm maybe not the communication expert, but I'm the video expert. And well, who I'm looking to connect to, I've been lately working a lot with speakers. I've been creating show reels for them and some content for social media. So I guess here I'm going to have many speakers joining, and yeah, I would say that's what I'm looking for, supporting them to stand out through the power of videos. Yeah, thank you very much.
Amazing, amazing. Rashmi is part of the team as well, and she's been supporting us for a few months now. Rashmi, would you like to say a few words quickly? And then we welcome Raha and we get started.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. How are you doing all? I'm growth business strategist for Herman and Jose, and I'm supporting in their amazing, lovely journey. And I love to connect with people, exploring the world, new things, and also helping people in their online presence and boosting their online presence. Thank you.
Thank you, Rashmi. What a pleasure. Well, this wouldn't be possible without Rashmi, just letting you know. Raha, welcome. Lovely to see you again. Quick intro. And I'm going to say we get started. We have already started, but then I start with a presentation with today's topic.
Okay, hi everybody. I'm Raha. I live in West London, and I have twin boys that are a handful. They're on half term, so it's a little bit hectic right now. Anything else?
Amazing. Anything else I'm always curious about what you would like to get out of this show that's going to be running every week.
Okay. Well, I want to be a speaker. Actually, no, I am a speaker. I want to get paid more, far more than I get paid right now for speaking. And I want to do more speaking. Yeah.
Amazing.
And I love connecting with people.
Well, thank you so much. You've come to the right place. This is Speaking to Sell. Of course, I mean, people will become speakers. As you know, there's different rooms that we run on the topic as well. And today it's actually about speaking to sell, how to use public speaking. And I'm going to touch on some of the foundations, the things we need to consider and be mindful of every time we're about to speak. Because remember, we are always selling ourselves, are we not? And this is not as in selling myself. You might be wondering, well, Jose's from Venezuela. He used to sell himself. Not like that anyway. So this is not exactly what I mean. It's actually selling yourself, because for a job interview, every time we put ourselves in front of the camera, when we interact, when we shake hands, every time we're leaving an impression, we're making a connection. How can we make the best out of each one of those interactions? Every time we give seconds or minutes to intro ourselves, how can we make sure that in that short term period of time, I'm going to let more people in, Maria Castro, we actually create that bond that starts leading people to liking us, knowing us, trusting us, and believing in us, most importantly, because, you know, they can trust us, but is that person really going to help me achieve what I want? Maria has joined us. Maria, great timing. We're about to crack on, get started with today's presentation. You may wonder, well, Jose is very organized. Well, this is one of the presentations I do, but sometimes I may not have a presentation specifically, as in, you know, with the slides and everything else. But we will have a great time, that is for sure. By the way, incredible souls, any questions, anything that you have, you can type in the chat, or by the end of the presentation, I'm going to be allowing Q&As, of course. But if you think it's just pressing, Natty goes, Jose, I cannot let you continue until I know this, then of course, you just, you know, raise your hand, just unmute yourself. This is a very open community, and you know me well already, many of you. Welcome, Maria. Lovely to see you. Hola, buenos dias. Okay, you know me. So, who has ever been to a great restaurant or watched a movie that you liked, or anything that you like so much that by the end of that session, that time in the restaurant, whatever, you just couldn't wait and you had to tell someone? You had to go and, you know what, Raha, you're not going to believe this restaurant is amazing. I had the best meal ever. You have to go there. Have you ever done that? Okay. So there we go. For those of you who think, yeah, I'm not very good at selling, if you've done that and actually that person ended up going to that restaurant, there we go. That's a successful sale. That's it. Whether you believe you're in sales or not, you're good at it or not, that's actually a good starting point. And I'm going to walk you through what's happened in that interaction, because every human interaction, what I'm doing here at the moment with you, every time we speak to someone, we're looking at 4 elements. And I love the iceberg analogy, and I use it for loads of different things. But if you look at it, there's 4 elements, and Liz may have seen this in the past. It's always a good reminder, because there is the way in which we engage, which is superficial. The engagement, this is what I'm dressing, you know, the headphones, whatever, the fact that I've got the beer, how I speak, all of that is my package that I present to you, okay? And that's what you see. But then right after that, at the same time, I'm creating an impression. Is it an impression that I'm in control of? Not necessarily, but I can influence it. So you're making an impression. And that impression, the longer you leave it, the more it's going to lead towards building trust. And imagine trust as you've got a piggy bank, and that piggy bank, you're adding coins to it. Yeah, you're adding coins to it. And that's how you grow the trust. And in the same way, once you start saying things that are not right, that are not resonating with that person, in the same way, you can start taking money out of that piggy bank. And then all of that will lead to influence. And what do I mean by influence? What do I call it? A deep connection. I also spoke about believing in that person, because that's a deep connection. At that point, these people will listen to you. When you say something, they go, you know what? Yes, I'm going to follow in a way that I'll take action. I'll say what Liz said or what Herman said. Oh, actually, I take them up on that offer. I'm going to visit that website. We got more people coming in. We have a Jose as well. So this is actually what's happening with every human interaction, people. And this is something I'm never going to get tired of until things start to change. And I love this quote. It's not mine. I wish it was, but I'm sticking to it. Because if we want to grow, it's important not to get people to decide that you're worth their time right away. Remember that engagement, that impression, that trust, that influence. You need to motivate them now instead of later. Because imagine if they go, yeah, that's fine, Jose, you know, Rashmi, Raha, that's okay. Maria, I'll come back to you later. Once we tend to go later to do something else, we go into our lives again, into the hamster wheel, into just not being in not being in control is not what I meant, but then you just go and you carry on and you forget about this and you delay it, you postpone it, and you don't take action. So it's our responsibility to help people to take action. Jose, I'm going to mute you. Thank you very much. Remember, people, when you join the call, to mute yourselves. So leave this quote, keep it, and it's going to be there. It's not going to go anywhere. I'll keep on repeating it. I'll post it in the Facebook group as well. Remember, that's another part of the community. And these videos are going to be there as guides, pieces of knowledge and information that I'm sharing, that we are sharing. So I have a question for all of you. What's the difference that makes the difference when it comes to speaking to sell? And here, if you want to type in the chat, anything, please feel free. Or if you want to unmute yourself, okay. So what's the difference? A call to action from Liz. What's the difference that makes a difference? Yes, a call to action. Anyone else that would like to share? What's the difference that makes the difference when it comes to speaking to sell? I see people taking notes and all. Showing you can solve their problem, confidence. Okay, some praying hands in there. Yeah, you can pray as well, creating a relationship. And you will see, you know, I could add storytelling, confidence, the voice, body language. I could add loads to it, many more. And you can have all of that. But if you don't have the connection you can create with the other person, yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Christina. You can have all of them, building community. Thank you. You can have all of them. But if you're not in charge of your thinking, then none of that will be that relevant. Because I can know how to tell stories. But if then I'm not in control of my mind, how I'm feeling, how I'm thinking about things at a certain moment in time, then all of that storytelling and all of that, it won't come across in the same way. So imagine, this is mindset. Why? This is going to be the foundation. It is the foundation of my work and what I speak about, because from there, it's actually laying out the foundations for all the skills and everything else that we're going to be learning during this show. So remember that the quality of your thinking, people, will determine the quality of your career, of your sales career, your business life, everything. It's like the car. If I want that car to go faster, and I think I may change the car maybe to a Ferrari. Well, I kind of like that one. If I want that to go faster, what can I do to it? So imagine, yeah, I'm going to change the tires. Yeah, it may actually have a bit more grip in, you know, when I turn, or I change the paint and I change this and that, which are all of the external elements. If I really want it to go faster, I'm going to work on the engine. I may change the engine. That's the mindset. And then in order for that engine to perform better, I'm going to add all of the other elements, the stereo, the tires, the paint, which are the skills you're going to be learning. All of that will come on top of your mindset. And we have Eda joining us as well, all the way from Australia. Fantastic. Welcome, Eda. Welcome everybody to the Speak to Sell Yourself and Your Business community. Woo, woo. Okay, enough with the energy. I'm gonna come down a little bit. I haven't had many coffees this morning yet. Okay, let me crack on. This is something some of you have seen. This is again the structure of excellence, as I like to call it. It's called the pyramid of influence. It's called neurological levels. And I usually touch on 3 points here, which are purpose, identity, and beliefs and values. And I want you to think for a moment, as business owners, as speakers, okay, because we can be the business owner who speaks. Ideally, that's going to help us put that business out there and engage with people right away, which is, one of the purposes of all of this show. So think of your purpose behind your business, behind your speaking. Think about your identity. Who are you? Who am I when I come to the stage? And what are my beliefs and values around it? Because those are going to lay the foundations. And I keep on speaking about the foundations because this is the mindset element I want you to grasp. On top of that, you're going to have the capabilities that are going to lead the behaviors that are then going to have, or for you to perform at a certain level or specifically within that environment. Lovely people, remember, well, you cannot mute yourself to interrupt me, okay? Because I want you to participate. But if you're not going to participate, please remember to mute yourself so you don't have the echo in the background. So think of this as the foundation, okay? The pillars. If you were going to have 3 pillars, then I would say purpose, identity, beliefs and values. And from there, you can start building up capabilities, all of the different skills that are going to lead my behavior in specific environments. Once you have control over this, then you become unstoppable because you know exactly what's going on. You know exactly what to change. You know exactly, yeah? I'm going to take a mini coffee break if you excuse me. Otherwise, I need to hydrate. It's very important as speakers as well that we hydrate ourselves. While I ask you another question. So what are you doing, people, when you present yourself and your business? What are you doing? Curious right away. What is it that we're doing? Not all at the same time. I'm going to look at the chat. What's going on? What are we doing? Let's see. We're selling. Yes. Absolutely. We're selling. We're creating an impression. Yes. Look at Liz, putting across a message, building your personal brand, outlining how you can help, building community. Know my audience. Okay. All of them are correct. And then you're going to wonder, well, Jose, yeah, now what? You're going to tell us all of that is great, but yes, there is a but. I'm going to take you because today is actually about the foundations. Remember, all of that is great. And all of that is happening and you're doing it. But you cannot do many of those things if you are not transferring certainty in the process. And I want to say it again. Let's see, Christina, I always try to find first what are the needs of the person. Then I present my business. Okay, yeah, that's a nice angle. And when you do, that's actually happening before that as well, preparation, yes. But once you do, the thing that is going to make the difference, again, of course, everything goes together. But I can have, all the information in my phone, and I can have loads of brochures, and I can, I may have prepared incredibly, but if by the time I come and I'm not feeling certain about who I am, about my product, service, about my business, if we're running a business, for me, I am my business. But then, as many of you know, we run a business, my brother and I together, and now we have a small team. So it's, speaking about those 3 elements with certainty, okay? When you're speaking, you're increasing or decreasing, and I have it there, the level of certainty in your audience about who you are, your product and service. No wonder when you hear someone speaking, yeah, hello, and it's not about the tonality either, but you see it, you sense it. Whenever you see someone speaking and you actually go, oh, yeah, I'm sorry for that person, for her or for him. Okay, yeah, he's very cute. He's very good looking if you're speaking about me, but would I buy from him? Would I invest any of my money in that product or service? Most likely you wouldn't, because that engagement has taken place, yes, and the impression is not necessarily the one you want, as in a certain person around everything around the message. And then think about the trust. Yeah, they may trust you to have a chat about something, but they may not necessarily trust you to help them solve their problem, as some of you mentioned today. So think about certainty. And once you have that certainty and you're going to go into your presentation, then what elements are you incorporating into it? Because then this is part of the message. And this is a lovely topic that we will speak more about. And this is, big part of this is persuasion. What are you going to say? How are you going to say it? And what amount of content are you going to have in your presentation? I'm saying the presentation, whether you have slides or not, or whether it's a one-to-one. Okay, what is the sweet balance that is going to help you get people to think about what you are saying differently? What is that difference that is going to help you to influence them? And with me, as you know, it's always going to be around positively influencing others, helping them to reach a decision that is of their benefit. This is not about manipulating people, which can be used for those purposes as well if we get very clever, and you may see many people out there doing it. This is about really helping people, creating that human connection to help them to, to realize, yes, I think Liz, I think Rashmi, I think Raha, Herman, you guys, Maria, I think Eda, yeah, you can help me. But it's coming from a place. That's why it's important, again, to touch on the purpose, the big why, the identity, and the beliefs around it. Okay, and I keep on going back to that. So you have those three elements in there that create that persuasion: ethos, logos, and pathos. Pathos, it's all around the emotional connection. It's not what we say, it's about how we say it. It's about the storytelling. It's going to that deep connection that I explained at the very beginning. You see, it's all intertwined. One cannot go without the other. It's the tonality, it's the body language. But then if you just go around storytelling and things like that loosely, yeah, they're going to go, wow, what an incredible person. Raha, you are amazing. But I still don't know what you do. And it's happened to me. And I still don't know how you can help me. Oh, okay, well, thanks. So I just spent 30 minutes here and you still don't know what I do. You still don't know how I can help you. You see where this is going? So there might be a nice interaction, but there is the lack of clarity. This is where ethos and logos come in. And this is not just structuring the pitch. We're going to speak about pitching moving forward. We're going to have many occasions to touch on that as well in detail. So the ethos is going to be all of my credibility. It's like, imagine my CV, everything I know, what I've done in the past. So I start positioning myself in your minds as the authority in whatever the topic is, in my field. And then logos, that's where I'm actually going to be sharing my knowledge. So I've got the CV with everything that, I've done your linguistic programming, I've done this, I've been marketing manager, I've presented to so many businesses, I helped so many different business owners pitch their businesses successfully, But then here, I actually share some knowledge. I share some statistics, some powerful quotes, some of the books I may have read. So, and you look at the combination, the sweet combination, the people that speak too much about themselves, you're going to tire the audience, they're going to disconnect. So that's why they recommend around a 10%. And that's why they recommend around a 25% when it comes to the logos element, which is all the rationale. Pathos, imagine, goes to the back of your head, the unconscious mind. For some reason, is placed in there for me. It can be anywhere when I speak about the unconscious. And the conscious is that bit, that thing that you say, oh, that's a very interesting piece of information. Oh, I love that. What you say, I'll say, oh, okay, you see? So there is going to be like a sweet combination. And the best way to prove whether it's right for you is actually record yourself and see how longer, if you have a 5-minute video, how much am I speaking about myself, which is the ethos? How much relevant information am I giving, which is the logos? And how much of an emotional connection through storytelling, body language, tonality, and everything else, that certainty that I'm transferring, am I incorporating into it? And watch it backwards. Again, don't watch it backwards. Sorry, don't watch it backwards. If you want to laugh at yourself, but do watch it. It's just okay. And give yourself feedback. So now we've touched on the mindset element. We have certainty, and now the element of persuasion and how to start crafting that presentation in a way that is persuasive, that gets people to take action for the right reasons. How to command respect. I'm going to give you 3 key things here whenever you're about to start a presentation. I'm going to go straight to the point. 3 things. Yeah, you may have heard that words are around 7% when we speak, physiology 55, tonality 38, blah, 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 which is true, especially at the very beginning of your presentation. Okay? That happens at the very beginning of your presentation. Then, of course, you need the words. Can you imagine? I start speaking And I only give you this and smiles, and I keep on going back to the smiles and yeah, and what? Where's the content? So initially you're creating that impression throughout all of your body language and tonality. Then you need the words. So 3 things you can do. Simple. Be passionate. Whatever passion is for you. You don't need my level of excitement, for example. You don't need to be jumping up and down. What is your passion? What is that thing that wakes you up in the morning? And link it to your business. Why are you running your business? Think about it that way, because then that will come across. Be on the ball. If you want to be persuasive, all of that logos that I spoke about, you need to know the stuff. You need to have the backup as well. So the backup, which is the ethos, but then the knowledge. So when people ask you questions, you're there. When you deliver the content, people, position yourself in their minds as an authority and believe, please, you are an authority in your field. Why do I say this? Believing in yourself, believing you can, believe in the amount of time you're invested in your craft to be where you are today. That it doesn't matter. There will always be people that know more than you. And then you will deal with that. But also you know a great deal more than people. That's one of the things when we go and do public speaking. Oh, what if people in the audience know more than I do? Well, yeah, that could be, a factor, a possibility, fine. But what if they don't? And what if actually even just one person leave that audience with a huge transformation, with an incredible takeaway that is going to change his or her life? It's about the reframing as well. So 3 elements. Every time you're going to be presenting, right before you do it, passion, know the stuff, and believe. Believe you are, because you are. You've done it. It's not the first time I speak around communication and public speaking. And even if it was, then I would look for the resources to help me come across as the person that knows. Because we didn't get to this point just out of the blue, did we? So remember the 3. And I like to work in 3 because also for the mind, it's way easier to remember. For those of you who haven't done any super brain or things like that, training and, fast reading and things, 3 is the lucky number. It will help people remember what you're on about. Let's quickly talk about physiology. And when I say quickly, because of course, each one of these pillars, we could be spending days talking about them with the practice and the training, but I want you to take something away today that's powerful. And it's just as simple as, hands down. And I don't want you to look like Mr. Putin in there, okay? Just hands down whenever you are speaking about something and you want to be perceived as credible, whenever you're in control. You change your tonality accordingly as well. Whenever you want your audience to pay attention to something you're about to say that you really want them to listen. And yes, it can be the element of the pause incorporated as well. So there is a combination here. And if you could see my whole body, then you would also see how I'm standing and it's straight and you're in control. And this is impacting the unconscious, by the way. Think about the teachers when they used to talk to you, when they go, shh, calm down, shh, relax. You see, you are commanding respect here. And when you go palms up and opening up and even changing your tonality accordingly, which is one of the ways in which I like to start my presentation. Sometimes you can start either way. This is welcoming the audience and I'm opening up my weak spots. And I'm changing my tonality accordingly. Unconsciously, I'm welcoming you to my space and giving you that opportunity to connect with me. This is the credible and approachable. There are many other different body language elements, postures, okay, to impact the audience differently and to connect with them differently. When I say impact, I'm always looking for connection, to get them to think, get them from A to B. It can be like, you got the computer, or you got the blamer, or you got many more. So this could actually be just one session on body language, which I'm sure you will all enjoy loads. So now you've got credible, approachable. Think about it. Am I being credible? Am I being approachable? The sweet combination of both, that level of flexibility, is what it's known as charisma. How are we doing with time? How are you? Blah, 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 blah. How are you all doing, people? Drop me some messages in the chat, because if you've left the room, we just call it a day. I'm not going to be speaking just for the sake of it. So I want to hear you in the chat. Well, I'm not going to hear you in the chat, but I want to see you in the chat. Still here, Liz. Wow. You are such a supporter. Thank you very much. Okay, here, Herman, here. Okay, so I see you people. Where is Amir? Where is Raha? Let me see who else is here. Where is Eda? Maria, Christina, where are you all people? Okay, you're still around. You're still around. Hi, hi, hello. Okay, so you've seen. Thank you so much, Craig. Thank you so much for the feedback. Amazing. So let's do a little bit on storytelling, and I'm just going to give you a powerful structure here that you can use for many things. And this comes because I don't know if I told you, I used to work within engineering. And when you speak around storytelling and you ask engineers to do some storytelling, it's just like, what's that all about, mate? It's just, what storytelling? What are we saying here? Once upon a time. So they used to laugh at me until I came up, and I shared with them a structure that works. Not because I said it works, but actually because I used it at one of the events I was in charge of organizing, and people followed everything that I said exactly and took action and took the action I wanted them to take. So stories, I'm not going to give you too much around the wider stories, but when you tell stories, so many other parts of the brain illuminate. So there is a whole different level of connection that you're creating with your audience. And then it's about telling the right story to illustrate the right point at the right time. Because what would be the whole idea of me telling you a story, I don't know, about baking cookies? If first of all, I don't bake cookies, and what does it have to do with today's topic? So I would need to find the why I'm using that story to illustrate what point. So this is what I'm going to be sharing with you today. The IPS, 3 elements. As I said, I love to work in 3s. It's also good for me to remember my 3s and 3 types of stories. There are loads of stories that you can share, but actually you got your personal story, somebody else's story, or business. It can be your business story or somebody else's business story as well. So right away, you got a few things in there that you can start sharing. The IPS, intro, problem, payoff, or a premise, problem. Sorry, yeah. Intro, problem, solution, premise, problem, payoff, the 3 Ps, either way. And why do I go like this? Like a new, because my surname is Ucar. Apart from that, because I take people on that dive and then take them out. So, quick example, which has to do with public speaking. And I'm just checking the time. Okay, I'm going to give you 2 examples. I'm 16 years old in front of a Swedish audience, and I'm frozen, unable to speak. Have you ever been there? After having been given the opportunity to go travel to Sweden as exchange student to represent my country, there I am, apologizing, sitting down because I couldn't speak. I ended up with 2 options. 1, to give up, and 1 to stay and find a way to speak in English, Swedish, in front of the audience, whatever. I didn't have a clue of what to do. For some reason, going back to purpose and things in life, I didn't have any of this clarity when I was 16. I was very lost. But I liked the country so much that I decided to stay. And I decided to look for resources. And I used to have an incredible English teacher. And I went to him and said, look, can you help me? Because I'm really struggling. And I see you deliver your classes, your lessons, everything with such a level of confidence. I didn't even know what confidence was back then. I don't remember exactly what I said. He said to me, yeah, let's talk about it. And he helped me. He gave me a few tips, a few tricks, a few things. One of the best ones was, start practicing. Practice in front of, your friends. And if I fast forward all of this, that moment in my life led me to where I am today. Using communication skills to take every opportunity that comes my way to make the most of it. I've worked, being all the way from Venezuela, I'm proud of it because, a small town by the sea, and I've traveled the world representing businesses that speak in other languages. I did represent some in Spanish, but 90% of my clients now and everything, English spoken clients that trust me, that believe in me. And it's not because I'm special. It's because I've got the structure. I've got something that works and I'm confident about it. So all of the elements that I've described today that I presented to you is actually part of my structure. You see, I just deliver a nice story in there with a premise, where I'm at. I locate you. I bring you with me to that place. Then deep dive into the emotions, the problem. I want you to be there with me. I want it I want that problem to resonate with my audience, with you. I want you to be there like, yeah, I've been there, or I know what it feels like, or I know someone who has been there. And then I take you out towards a solution. And then there can be the call to action that Liz mentioned. So right away, people, as you can see, you've got an incredible structure for storytelling in any environment. Going back to engineering, this is how I started. Going back to the premise and the punchline at the beginning, this is how I started that presentation that day. Imagine that you don't have a business anymore. Imagine for a moment that if you didn't invest in innovation, your business will stop working. And right there, I got them into the big problem and how that could impact their businesses moving forward. And I took them out to some of the solutions that we had, which were the solutions our business had. And that was in an event I organized, again, in 3 stages. In the same 3 stages, like we do sometimes as human beings, you have breakfast, you have lunch, you have dinner, same way. So I got them in there. I spoke about everything we did, gave them a bit of a glance of the place, got them into the presentation, which was the IPS. And then out again, the call to action was to speak to our engineers at the end. So it works on any environment. All you have to do is just adapt it and bring in stories that resonate with the audience. But the structure is there, lovely people. The structure is there. Always use your stories to illustrate your points. Hold on, got itchy nose. Oh no, that's bad in front of the camera. You may have seen this before, some of you, people that have worked with me in the past as well. If I give you a nice and easy structure to follow, what is your audience takeaway? What do you want them to take away? Many people come to me, Jose, I need your support with, with a presentation. And I give them this. Work on this structure. What are the 3 points you want to make? How are you going to illustrate them for the audience to take away your message? And then you can add more bits around the introduction, the hook. It depends on what you want to do, but the essence of it. This is how I did my TEDx. What do I want my audience to take away? To really think about connecting in new ways. The points I made, 3 points. 1, connecting with yourself, connecting with others, and connecting to support. I think those were the 3 ones. And I illustrated them with stories. Simple, voila. I still remember them 2 or 3 years after the TEDx. I still remember what I spoke about because it's easy to remember, which is another thing. As speakers, when we go out there, we're not too sure. We're not too sure. What if I forget? Apart from practicing, work on an easy structure, and your stories are your stories. So let's see. I've got something here from Amir. Okay, let me I think that sounds like a question. I'm going to finish this, and then we dive into Q&As. We're doing good. 10:40, just as planned. Take this in, people. Remember, motivating people to take action now instead of later. And I think I'm going to be posting this in the group as well, because it is such an important reminder. People then will go into their lives again, the routine and everything else, and they will delay. And the thing is, when they delay, they cannot benefit from what you've got. They cannot implement that right away or as soon as, in order to start creating change. Because also remember, see yourselves, about believing in yourselves. What we deliver is years of experience compressed into an hour or into 3 months, or whatever it is that the service we offer as coaches, as speakers, especially as speakers, when we do a keynote and it's 45 minutes, we're compressing. In my case, I'm going to be turning 40, so I'm compressing around 40 years of experience and everything else in that keynote that I then deliver. So of course I do believe in myself, because not everyone can do that in the same way. You see where I'm coming from? So thank you so much, incredible ones. Now let's just dive into questions. By the way, some of you may know that I have a membership area, which is completely free. If you want access to it, all you have to do is just drop me a message, or drop Rash me a message, or pop us a message in the Facebook group. Either way, I'm going to stop sharing the screen. And I see there are some questions here already. Why have I got such an itchy nose this morning? Okay. Maria is commenting here. Eda, I don't know where that says something about too many beautiful ladies. Yes, there are many beautiful ladies in the room, you mean? Yes. My wife is not around, but she's beautiful. Oh, Sweden. Yes, Sweden. Oh, Eda, don't get me started on that. Yeah, that's not actually when I went why I went there. I was only 16. So, right. So I'm going to move on, speak about Amir's question, and then we can open up to each one of you as well. I understand how telling a story can help you bring across your point and to connect with people. But when you're presenting a highly technical presentation, how can you put in, okay, how can you put it in a story? Beautiful question, Amir. Thank you so much for joining, by the way. Right. It depends on the people that you have, okay, in the audience as well. I'll give you an example. In one of the sessions I was delivering around pitching, this guy comes and I asked him to present his product to me. And he gave me all the details, all the features, all the benefits in about 1 minute and 30 seconds. And at the end, I just went, so all of that sounds really cool. I still don't know what you do. So would you like to illustrate it by telling me a story of what a customer of yours has achieved? And then he said to me, okay, well, I'm going to tell you about, say, Pedro. I don't remember what the name he used was. And he said, well, because of Pedro started using my system, which is an online platform, he came to me initially because he had money issues and he couldn't save. So when he joined the platform, a year later, and I'm going to speed this up, a year later, he had saved over 200, 300 pounds. Okay, so then I led with the question, what does your platform do? Well, it helps clients and people save money. Something so simple that I could understand and that I could then share with everyone else. I'm going to talk now about something more, going back to my engineering days, what I used to do. People would come to the room expecting the usual presentation, which I'm going to give them loads of details around cutting tools, for example. And I would do that, but in a different way. People, welcome today to the show. And we got Liz Scott. Hello. Is it Milo? Yeah, hello, Milo. And I will start the presentation by saying, look, I've come back from a trip to Portugal where I had the opportunity to meet Luis. Luis is the manufacturing engineer of the whole plant where they make wings for the airplanes. And the first thing we saw as we walked in was that, I mean, Luis didn't know what to do with the amount of waste they were having in terms of the product and also the time they were wasting manufacturing the parts. They weren't meeting the deadlines of their clients. Big problem. They didn't even have time for us to come in and do tests in their machines. So I phoned up Barry back in the UK and I said to him, Barry, we've got this. What can we do? How can we help? And then Barry said to me, bring a piece of material and we take it into our place, we make it, and then we give him a strategy for him to follow. Maybe we can implement and actually share with him the savings up front. Amazing, Barry. Thank you so much. So I took the part, went to Barry. And by the time I'm delivering the presentation, Barry had already found some answers and we already had some savings up front that we could present to Luis. I could have done the same thing by saying, here is the part on a slide, PowerPoint slide. And, we use this tool. And this tool does this and this and this at this speed, at this RPM, at this depth of cut, at this depth of cut. I still remember the terminology and the lingo. And you see, can you tell the difference? Which one would you find more engaging? And by the end of it, you don't want to tell them what the tool did. You want to tell them what the result was, what they can achieve by using your product and service, what they can do. Because we may, when we go to that client, in this case specifically, we're going to be using different tools. The part is going to be another one. The material is going to be different. It's the same with coaching because, we're humans, so we're different as well. So my approach with Nati, Raha, Liz, Herman, might be different, might change. But I know that by the end, you're going to be able to speak. You're going to be able to sell differently. You're going to have the confidence, you see? Does that help, Amir? And let's open the panel to everyone else. How to address pathos. Thank you, my pleasure. How to address pathos. Is this talking about common pain, point of the audience? Yes, pathos, depending on the topic, is actually how do you add more credibility to it, Ada? That would be the first thing. How do you add credibility? So depending on the topic you speak about. I've given you pathos, loads of pathos today in everything I did. An example of pathos for me is the structure, the IPS. That is a pathos element, because I could have told you just a story, which is great, but then I haven't given you the punchline, which is, yeah, this is how you actually do it, which shows, hopefully, that I know some of what I'm talking about. Is that a good answer for you, Ada? Anyone else? Any other questions? Incredible people. We've got 12, 30 more minutes to go. So take your time. Digest the information while I sip a bit of coffee. Ada, does that help? Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay. So if you don't have any questions, does it mean you didn't listen, or you listened so well that you're just so clear? Nati.
Jose, because
sorry, Nati, I missed the first bit you said.
Okay, I think more of a comment than a question is that this comes at an opportune time, because I'm just going to start recording some videos to put out on YouTube and maybe create a podcast, and it's a good time that this input comes. So the funny thing is that one has been a salesman all of one's life, but I think when you kind of get into revising some of the key elements of communicating, and especially communicating to sell, and I'm going to put this into use, and I'll come back to you with my feedback on how it goes.
Nati, amazing. This is what we want in this community. So you people take action. Amazing stuff. Thank you very much for sharing. I have a question from Purity has joined. Okay. And have a question. Hold on. Craig, let me look at your question. Any tips for an engaging intro premise? Yes. Always think about your hook. Some people call it hook, grabbing people's attention from the very beginning. There are different ways. It can be a question. So one of them I like to use, similar to the one, instead of saying imagine, or I just dive straight into the topic, but one of them is, have you ever been frozen and unable to speak? That's usually one of my starts. The one I used back in the days with engineering, think about something that you do. You say, I have mentioned quotes. Yeah, quotes are good. Questions, or drop them into the middle of the story of the something, and there I am, not being able to speak. Right away, you have their attention. Where was he? Unable to speak about what? What's going on? I know this is about speaking. So drop them somewhere throughout the story instead of saying, hello, welcome, my name is Jose, my name is Craig. So drop them in. There I am, unable to speak. I'm in Sweden, I'm 16. I'm in front of a huge audience of business owners, and I'm apologizing. You see, there's some other ways, instead of actually doing another nice version, which is, today, listen, we're going to be speaking about this, and that. And then you already give them what they're going to be hearing. So you may engage them that way as well. I'm trying to remember the one I used. Hold on, because that was quite cool. Let me see if I have it in this presentation. The one I used to ask engineers, and they couldn't get away from it because it was just a fact almost. Hold on a second. Let me see if I have it here. I think it was on the presentation. Oh, yeah. I will start it. How much longer can your business last without innovation? And there's nothing they can do at that point, because they know innovation is needed, and they also know most of the time they're not innovating enough. And then what we bring in the back of it is loads of innovation that was back then. So I've given you a few examples. Hope that helps. Hold on, I've got more questions here. Hold on, thank you. Any tips? Okay, Ada, how do you put, hold on. Okay, so Craig, thank you. A nice twist from what I would normally think of doing. Okay, fantastic. This is what this is all about. A bit of a twist. Twists are good, twist and shout. How do you put time pressure on an audience to act? Do you talk about what they miss out on delaying something that's going to benefit them? Ada, I personally don't. And just the element of pressure puts pressure on myself as well. So I don't like putting pressure. One thing I've decided to do, and also the idea behind this program, this show, is to give people loads of value. And then if at some point down the line you think, I can somehow help in getting your business to the next level, because there's only so much I can share on an hour. So then there's the opportunity for the coaching. There is the opportunity for the academy that I'm going to be launching. There is the opportunity for you to check out the world-class communicator that, for example, you have done. But I don't go putting pressure in the audience. I do speak about, look, it's important that you take action with a quote. So that's why I keep on sharing that quote every time I speak, because I want people to take action, and not just, with me, with their lives, that they do something with this knowledge, just like what Nati said, what he's going to be doing. That's what I want to hear. Raha, love the hook tip, Jose. Any tips for making a short sales video? Short sales video, Raha. Yes, hook. Hook, because we're so no, I was going to say distracted. There's so much information that you need to see something different. And sometimes the hook is not just what we say, but what we do. And I've been speaking on Clubhouse more and more around TikTok and what people do in order to grab some other's attention. So be mindful of who your audience is. So there's always an important thing to have the hook. Then tell them what you're going to tell them. Tell them what you told them, and give them a call to action. That would be a very nice and simple structure, because I don't recommend you go, and if you want more information on this, Herman is the guy, maybe we can talk about it, or actually just type in the Facebook group. Herman can provide some additional information if you like, because one thing I don't recommend, that I don't do, is just go selling online and saying, yeah, and here I got my products, so come and buy them. However, part of getting people into the funnel is that you have the hook, or you can actually even start. So the 3 tips that I want to share with you today, and then you tell them the 3 tips, then you review like a summary, and then you go, now, if you want to find out more, do this, or comment below, what is the tip you like the most? Or if you want to download these tips and many more, I've got the membership area, or these tips are available there. And then you start bringing them to your community, because there is going to be a buying cycle, and you want to nurture people until they either buy or not, but you're adding loads of value. That would be my angle to it. And then those videos, do a minute to a minute and 30 seconds. Don't go too crazy on that, because then it's just too long, unless you're super engaging. And also be mindful of what your audience likes to consume as well. That is super important, because it's just for when we speak about podcasting, how long should it be? If you know your audience, how long are they willing to listen to you, to listen to your speakers about that topic? Because imagine if it's a topic of neuroscience or something that goes deep, psychology, I don't see it being very interesting if it's just 5-10 minutes. But if it's just around sharing tips, maybe 5-10 15 minutes is enough. So test and measure, and ask your audience for feedback. Okay, Eda, very helpful, thank you. Yeah, no pressure, Eda, and you don't like pressure. A short IPS structure is good for a promo video, and make it. Yeah, Herman, thank you so much. Yes, and we use the IPS structure for videos. Absolutely, yes, that as well. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, incredible people. So we've done 55 minutes. How was it for you today? I want to hear in one word. And oh, great. I mean, we have actually Ada joining. Ada, well, I'll introduce you to Ada in a second, because Ada is going to be speaking next week. Ada, welcome to the Speak to Sell Yourself and Your Business show.
Hello, guys. I was literally watching all the episodes from Facebook.
Okay.
And then I realized, I should be around there.
Fantastic. If you're here, just so you know, incredible human beings, next week I'm engaged. I mean, as engaged with, I'm delivering a couple of trainings. So I decided to launch this show, and then I forgot I had that plan. But then every Thursday moving forward, I'm going to be available. We're also going to be inviting speakers. And next week, Ada has been very kind to come and join us. Ada, if you find her on TikTok, she has hit 100,000 followers. And well, I'm not going to give it all away. Ada, would you like to share briefly what we're going to be talking about next Thursday? And then I know there's going to be a promotional video and everything else, but I'd love to hear about it. Thank you so much for joining.
For sure. Thanks for the invite, 100%. Yes, so what we're going to be learning is how to speak to grow organically. That's my thing. So getting that speech out to gain leads online, doing organic growth, okay, and using the resources that we have out there. So this is all for now. Everything comes up in the next week.
Amazing. Loved it. Thank you so much, Ada. Looking forward to seeing you next week. So people, for those of you who can talk, or if you want to type in the chat, but for those of you who can talk in one word, how was today's session for you? I want to hear it. I want to hear it. I want to hear it. Not all at the same time. Even if you do it at the same time. Okay, so you're going to leave me hanging. Is that what's happening? Energizing. Bravo, Liz.
Insightful.
Insightful. Nati, how was it for you, good friend? Very helpful. Love the hook tip. Fantastic. Nati, if you want, I don't know if you want to share, just remember to unmute yourself, if that's the case. Invigorating. Amazing. In one word, super inspiring. Wow, Ada, you just joined us. Super and inspiring. Oh, but you were watching it as well.
I was watching on Facebook, yeah.
Coolio. Nati, one word. Okay. Sorry, Nati. I thought you were going to be saying something. I don't know if you said it. We couldn't hear you. Okay, that's all good. Right. I joined late because I had an exam. Purity, fantastic. Look, keep on coming back. This show is going to be on every week. You're going to have the recording in the Facebook group so you can watch it again. We're going to be sending the recording, and I think I just made a mistake and I didn't actually record. Rashmi, did you record the session?
Yeah, it's recording.
All right.
Well,
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
It's recorded.
Okay, cool. Incredible. So I love you. We're going to be sharing this. You'll receive an email with the recording as well. And there is much more to come because I cannot be quiet, stay still, stand still. And my brother is suffering from it, and Rashmi as well. So I'm sorry, guys. I love you. Enjoy. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Ada, see you next week. We're going to be recording the promo video tomorrow. So woo, round of applause, everybody. Come on, let's do this. See you later. Woo, 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 woo. You can all go now. I will let you go. Herman, do you want to play some music?
Okay, yeah, I wanted to play some music.
Play some music while people go. Oh, a bit of a lounge in there. Okay. We need to work on the volume for that music as well. It's okay. All right, people. I can barely hear it, but I thought you were going to be playing like "We Are the Champions, My Friend" or something like that. Okay.
Okay, well, for next one. Next session. Can you hear it?
Well, I can hear it, but it's actually about to start. Okay, we'll speak about it. It's the first day. Come on. Woo! Right, I'm going to end the call now. Great to see you all. Nati, Eda, Amir, Ada. See you next week. Rashmi and Herman. Woo, woo, woo. See you later.